And we're back with more exciting adventures of the Incredible Hokes. I am Chris.
I am Mark.
Today, we're going to play a little catch-up since we've been busy. What is a major pop culture event that has happened in the last week or so? Is there one?
Yeah, well, recently there was Star Wars Celebration in Chicago.
Yes.
And they debuted the first teaser trailer from Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Which we now know is, spoiler alert, The Rise of Skywalker.
Right. Why don't you go ahead? Do you want me to go first in reaction? Or
Sure,
what?
yeah, if you want.
Short version, I like the trailer. Let's get it out of the way. Palpatine's laugh is heard. J.J. Abrams has confirmed, yes, that is Palpatine's laugh.
Right.
So we know in some way, shape, or form, Palpatine emerges. We don't know if it's a spirit. We don't know if he's reincarnated. We don't know if he was survived all along and has been hiding. We don't know. We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing.
Right.
But we do know that J.J. Abrams confirmed that it is Palpatine's deal. Wasn't expecting that. I don't know if I'm that thrilled about that. The Rise of Skywalker seems like a suitable title. I have no problem with the title. I think the short version is I like the trailer. Asterisks, but I like the Last Jedi trailer too. So it is. I'm past. Oh, the trailer's got me pumped. That's. I'm past that. I'm past the trailer's got me pumped thing. It's got to deliver the goods. So I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm pretty much status quo than before. I'm going, all right, we'll see. Mandalorian's got me curious. That I'm kind of hyped up to see. But the Rise of Skywalker is just all right. We'll see. See if you can deliver your take.
Well, for starters, I watched the trailer, and immediately as it reveals the title, The Rise of Skywalker, I just remember thinking, just like I did when The Force Awakens was over, and I turned to you and I said I just felt grateful. And here's J.J. Abrams, who got Star Wars, I felt like, and delivered a movie that was respectful of the past, but also gave us an interesting future. And it was the movie I think it needed to be, that kind of bridge movie. Here, he's handed a situation that's not enviable, because whether people, for whatever reasons, they want to go, whether you want to admit it or not, some of us out here didn't care for Last Jedi. If you did, great. Some of us didn't care for it. He knows that. And the fact that a lot of us felt that Luke Skywalker was not treated well, and the importance of that character was not treated well, is kind of the center of our main sticking points we had with Episode 8. So the fact that he's brought that back and even has the title of Skywalker, putting that emphasis on that's how important Skywalker is, I feel grateful. Now, we don't, obviously, I'm not getting into a theory whether that means, it doesn't have to mean Luke. I understand that.
Okay, that's where I want that.
It doesn't, I don't know what that means. It just made me feel grateful that he's at least the name of Skywalker. He's respectful of it, understands that's the center of the problem, I at least feel like, and is going to try to make things right. And he also said that this is him, Episode 9 will finish the whole story of all 9 episodes. So
He said that?
yes. So we'll see what that means. And I watched on YouTube the panel they did there at Star Wars Celebration.
I didn't watch any of that stuff.
Ian McDiarmid actually came out, so it was.
Yeah.
That was after they did the trailer, so that's how we knew it was definitely for real. I mean, for all we know, all we're hearing from him,
excuse me,
is just the laugh. Because if you remember, we heard Ewan McGregor in Force Awakens, but he's not in it.
So Anakin.
Yeah.
No, it didn't say Anakin.
No, he said.
That was Qui-Gon, and one of them goes, Anakin, no!
These are your first steps. Ewan McGregor said to Rey, these are your first steps.
See, I've heard that before, but I've never heard it. My hearing's all off. I don't know when does that happen?
Yeah.
When she gets the lightsaber?
When she has that vision And then before Maz Kanata or whatever says an interesting story, but for another time, and she has that vision and all that. It happens at the very end of that vision, before Maz walks in.
Okay.
Anyway, but I liked it. I'm hopeful, and I feel grateful he's putting some emphasis on Skywalker. That's the conclusion.
So give me a short summary. Are you cautiously optimistic? Are you pumped? What are you? Put it in a smaller.
Yeah.
What are you? With the trailer, not anything else.
Right.
Not what they had to say. Just the trailer. What are you?
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic, but also kind of resigned to the fact that they're not gonna give me everything I want.
Okay, that's fair. Which, I mean, you can say that about any movie, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
Very few movies ever deliver everything I want anymore. I've given that shit up. You know.
Well, it's just and the whole thing with Luke and the way he was treated in Last Jedi. I just don't know that J.J. Abrams is like, I can't go back and relive. You know, there's only so much I can do. I just have to move on, and I think that's kind of where he is. But I don't know. He could prove me wrong.
But you know, he is the guy that figured out with the new cast of Star Trek to take him into another timeline that technically would never screw up the original timeline from this old TV series. So maybe you can figure out something that like, now this is why Admiral Hux didn't tell what's his name to plan all along. It's like that's one of my biggest plot hole things that I hate about Last Jedi. I can't hardly watch the movie, it infuriates me so. Once you find out at the end, like, well, why didn't she just tell Poe Dameron the plan all along?
It's terrible.
It would have like made. She only didn't tell him for plot reasons.
Yeah.
In real life, she could have just told him the plan and saved a lot of heartache.
Yeah, she's Haldo, isn't she? Hux
is the bad guy.
But
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Haldo.
Purple
chick.
Yeah.
If Laura Dern would have just told him the plan earlier, it would say the only reason she didn't tell him the plan was because the plot needed her to.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah, the plot needed Poe to be in the dark.
Yeah. And it always drives me crazy because, like, you would just tell him the plan, you would save all this grief. And he at the end is like, oh, and you're like. And I hope, supposedly there's a time jump. So hopefully it's like it begins with the funeral of Rose. We're at the cemetery.
Yeah.
And Rose is dead. And they're like, well, she didn't survive that battle. We lost a lot of good people. All right, moving on. Like, don't even give her a chance to like.
Yeah, some of the theories that are out there.
Because she's in it. Notice they hit her in the trailer.
Crazy.
She's not in the trailer. She's not in the trailer. She's absent, which I loved. She's not in the trailer. Go look.
No,
I looked for her.
I know.
I went to IMDb. She's in the credits.
Yeah.
On IMDb. She in the trailer. They're doing what they're doing. Like, hide that shit. I mean, we made a fucking mistake. Big time. So, anyway.
They're gonna so love Triangle that sucker. In my opinion, but anyway.
But she can't. If she really becomes a Jedi, she can't be romantic. I mean, if she really becomes a real Jedi.
See, you're assuming that it's the other girl would have to be Rey. It could be another girl.
Oh. Well, I didn't. Well, it had to be a new girl.
Yeah.
I just assumed you meant Rey and Rose.
I knew that they had some new members to the cast, so I don't know. What to see?
We'll see. I like that. Oh, last thing I'll say. In conclusion, because I kind of wanted to make this more on trailer. I have some opinions where the movie's going to go.
Right.
And maybe we'll do that in a different episode. We'll just keep it just a trailer. Lando Calrissian is in it. Billy D. Williams is in it.
Yeah.
If they've already shot it that they killed Billy D., you motherfuckers go back and reshoot that because it's bullshit to just keep bringing back our old beloved characters just to murder them. So. If for some reason this first cut has Lando dying, fuck you, change it. You got plenty of time between now and Christmas to go and reshoot that scene. So I hope to God Lando lives.
You know,
There should be a hashtag we trend. Lando lives.
I rather like your point. It's like the body count of the original heroes
too high.
has gotten really high now. So they need to,
Well, they killed off Akbar in just a complete fuck you.
Yeah, there was no thought to it whatsoever.
He just dies indiscriminately, and you're like,
that's
it's fucking Admiral Akbar.
Right.
Of course, obviously, Luke, obviously Han. But, I mean, it's... I guess you can make the argument, well, Boba Fett got thrown in a pit and eaten. So, I guess you can
Did
make
they
that
not,
argument.
hear people making fun of that for, 17, 18 years?
Yeah, of course.
That wasn't well received, so...
Well, most people didn't like it because he couldn't show up in the other movies, but of course there's all these theories that he survived the Sarlacc pit and fought his way out. And I think that's actually in one of the books or comic books that he fought his way out or something.
Yeah, the expanded universe has plenty of books about that,
Something like that. I don't really follow that stuff. I've never been a guy that got into the expanded universe stuff. I kind of always just focused on the movies and the toys.
Well, the series Star Wars Rebels brought up in their final season the idea of time travel, that's a possibility. And I remember looking at that going, don't know that I want time travel in Star Wars. Because it yields itself to cheats.
Well, yeah, then Vader can come back.
Yeah.
Palpatine comes back, and
Because
Luke comes back. And
there's no finality. If you don't have any finality, then the stakes are meaningless.
Yeah.
At all times. That's why it was a bad idea for Holdo to sacrifice herself. Because then now you watch all the other 7 movies and go, why don't you just
ram the motherfucker?
Ram the suckers. Why aren't we just doing kamikaze all over the place? Anyway.
Yeah.
I hated that was introduced.
Well, now I'm kind of bummed.
But I'm
even more bummed now.
But the trailer has a provocative thing where she takes on single-handedly the TIE Fighter, and
TIE Silencer,
or whatever it's called, and then we see what apparently looks like the Death Star,
a chunk
of it in water, I guess, or near a hillside, something. Anyway, and we hear, of course, Palpatine laugh.
Oh my God! It just occurred to me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
Well, I mean, you don't get to see a whole lot in the trailers. That's why I didn't go into it. You don't really see a lot. It really is a teaser. The title is what I fixated on because that to me is the I think the big takeaway is the title. Anyway,
I just had a thought. So you're seeing a fan theory be born.
Ooh, here we go.
All the time when I saw the shot of the chunk of the Death Star, I assumed that was Yavin, however you say it. What if it's really Endor and we get the Ewoks back in this one? To bring it all back to full circle. So what if that's not Yavin Death Star? What if that's Death Star 2? And that is Endor that they're on.
I hadn't really thought about that. It's interesting.
I have to go back and watch the trailer. I can't remember.
I've just assumed this Death Star is a third one. Because...
Well, it's already when they blew up then.
Because when they blew up, when they blew up from the movies, it's like, it's in pieces, little pieces.
Maybe they're saying like a back bit of chunk, like the space shuttle when it blew up. I mean, it's a horrible comparison.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of retconning, Well,
that's what it looked like to me. Is like the Death Star blew up and a big chunk of it fell to the planet that it was.
I mean, that may be what they're going for.
That's what I thought.
Well, I'm like, well, was that a third one? I mean, I might be wrong, but
maybe it was like a third one from like a prototype, or like maybe it was like one of the ones that was under construction and never got finished.
Well, yeah, that's what
where they made parts for it or something.
It's like they had a third one that was.
Oh, I know what it is. Go ahead.
Well, just they didn't want to get caught again where they didn't have a backup. I don't know.
They finally go and visit that horrible armament company that makes weapons for the Empire and the Rebels that they fucking introduced in Last Jedi, which was like too human of an element to introduce. God damn, I hate that movie. I hate it more and more.
Did we really need a space Halliburton scene?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because that's what it is.
They should have had a space, like an alien Eisenhower. Don't trust the alien space military industrial complex. You know? They made it too human. Fuck you, Last Jedi.
That movie, good lord.
I just hate it more and more. I hate it more and more. Can I just... Like, I pretend that there's no RoboCop 2 and 3, and I pretend that there's no Matrix 2 and 3. Can we pretend there's no Episode 8? Can we just sort of skip it somehow?
Well, I mean, it depends on 9, doesn't it? I mean, that's why I'm hopeful. If he can figure out some way to do where there's enough information there, even with like the scroll, even have just enough information that you literally could go, oh wow, we could go Force Awakens and go right to Episode 9. That would make my day. I'd have no problem with that.
Yeah, maybe they do a time jump. Maybe there is time travel and they're like, somehow we realize they went through this loop and they go back before a Force Last Jedi starts, and then we just start a whole that all over. And then we get like an Episode 10 is like a makeup movie.
Yeah, and maybe this time, the movie starts with Rey handing the lightsaber, and this time he doesn't do a douche maneuver and just throw it over like it means nothing,
Yeah, maybe he actually like leaks it
for comic effect.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for you this whole time, or some shit. And then,
yeah, that would be much better.
That might have been the geekiest 6 minutes of this show we've ever done ever.
Did you see?
They just saw us live on camera, like.
Did you see where that poor guy? He had, people watch the trailers, and then they'll like put their videos on YouTube with their reactions. This one guy was crying, and it went viral that he was crying watching the trailer.
Yeah.
And apparently he was getting bullied or whatever. People making fun of him. He was crying, whatever. And I'm like, well, come on, guys. He's a fan. Come on.
Well, he put it out there, though. I mean, if he got bullied, screw him. He put it out there.
Well, I know. I'm sure he's a big boy and he can take it, but I was...
Well, I'm just saying, why did you put yourself out there crying to the trailer if you didn't want people to react to it?
Knowing that some people are going to be cynical about it.
Then you got the attention you wanted. Screw you if it was negative.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it.
If you didn't want the attention, don't put it on the line.
The trollers out there that have to just be so cynical. It's like, well, is there anything that you're not passionate about? Like, come on.
Oh, well, yeah, trollers just...
come on.
Cynicism reigns too much. That's a whole nother show. Oh, my God. Speaking of other shows... I do?